me clearly. America is not a racist country.
World to know what happened here so that it doesn't happen again.
That is Damon Whitfield, the victim of an alleged racial profiling that occurred at the Denny's in Sioux Falls back on August 13th. Good evening, I'm Andrea Anderson.
I'm Brian Allen. Just over a week ago, we brought you the story of how Whitfield says the events unfolded that day. And now the audio from the 911 call has been made public.
Cordell Wright has been tracking this story for us. He joins us now live in studio with a Dakota News Now follow-up. Cordell, good evening.
Good evening, Brian and Andrea. Cross-country truckers Damon Whitfield and Hector Madura made a stop at Denny's off of Interstate 29. After an extended delay for service, the two men were asked to leave after police were called. Take a listen to this part of the call.
Do you know what they look like or how many of them there are?
Just two guys, African-American guys. That's all I really know.
Okay.
The audio from the 911 call comes from the restaurant's regional manager, who was not actually at the Denny's location at the time of the incident. In the audio, he describes the mannerisms of the two men, which contradict how they're seen in the video taken by Whitfield. Take a listen here.
Are they being violent or have any weapons on them?
Not to my knowledge. So I'm the regional manager. I'm actually getting ready to head in there. I'm about 20 minutes out. But the team called me and they said they just like very confrontational and argumentative and like refused to leave the building and just harassing the team and kind of following them around the restaurant.
Okay.
And a reminder, the waitress seen in the video is not the one in question. We're told by Denny's CEO that that individual has been let go. We have reached out to the Denny's corporate office for comment after the release of the call. They once again apologized to those involved and said they can't comment on any specific legal matter. A virtual conference is expected to take place early next week with the civil rights attorneys that are representing the victims, as well as other civil rights leaders. We'll keep you updated as more details come to light.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the regional manager, a complete racist. You know, he falsified a 911 call, and what he said to them did not match what was on the videotape. But see, their stereotypes, ladies and gentlemen, are all made up things to justify harming and killing Black people. And he said that old typical race is crap they came up with, that we're violent and confrontational. But isn't that amazing? Every time we see confrontations on video, we see them doing it. We see Karen. We see Darren. We see their cops. But when they are trying to get us harmed, oh, we're the one confrontational and violent. But you don't see any violence or anything confrontational on that video from Denny's. So this regional manager, who was not there when everything went down, called in a stereotype to 911. That's all he did. So it's good to put a face to the racism. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad they are telling their story and this is being heard, because then it alerts our people to stay away from places like Denny's. You know, they don't deserve any revenue from our community if this is how they're going to act. And, you know, there are those in this country that think you should be silent about racism. And the only reason why they say that, ladies and gentlemen, is because if you're silent, then the perpetrator of it all gets away with everything. And recording and that cell phone has been something that has helped us tremendously. Even social media, despite the fact that they always trying to sabotage us and keep us down because of what we say, it has really been revealing so much that would never have been seen before. It would have been their word, and their word always trump ours when it comes down to the authorities. But with the video, it now does not give them that advantage. And that's why they hate being recorded. So you heard the audio from 911, and this was made from the regional manager, again, who was not physically there. And you could hear him say, he was on his way to the restaurant. But, and he really sensationalized everything to 911. And whenever you see them doing that, they're doing that in hopes of the cops will show up. They'll be all um worked up because, they hear black guys and violence and confrontational and argumentative and all that stuff, just to get them all worked up before they come to the restaurant. That's all he was attempting to do. And he really should be fired. So, anyway, we have two long distance truckers, Damon Whitfield and Hector Madera, and the staff at Denny's were refusing to wait on them. All right. So they had a whole Karen in there as a manager. So the 911 caller, who you heard the regional manager, said they were unruly and confrontational and following the staff around the store, which absolutely does not even appear on the video. Okay. The only time these guys got up was when the police showed up. Prior to that, they were sitting at their table, and you could see the camera was on the waitress that Karen sent over. And in my opinion, they all should be let go. All of them. So the caller claims the men were unruly and very confrontational. The caller then goes on to say the two were harassing the staff and following them around. And we absolutely don't see that in the original video. If you have not seen that video, I have recorded my take on it a few days ago. So you can go and look for it. So the video of the incident shows a different perspective, that both men were sitting, they were calm at the table. After speaking to the two officers, is heard apologizing and saying, "I'm sorry that happened to you." Yeah, that's exactly what the police officer did. At least one of them that showed up, he apologized to these two men. Why would you apologize to someone that's unruly, confrontational, following around, harassing? You wouldn't apologize to somebody that was doing that. I'm just saying. So I'm glad both men finally retained legal counsel, because they sure are going to need it. And of course, Denny's released a statement this past Thursday. And they go on to say, at Denny's, our guests are more than just consumers. They are the very reason why we are in business and the center of everything we do. We love to feed people, and this means that we are committed to ensuring that all guests are respected, valued, treasured, and treated as if they were guests in our homes. Okay, so refusing to serve two men because you don't like the color of their skin, that's how you would treat a guest in your home, Denny's? Really? Your statement means absolutely nothing when you watch the video of what happened to these two men in your establishment. Not to mention, you already had a bad history of doing these sort of things. So they go on and say, we regret this incident and want to apologize to the guests involved. Clearly, we fell short of our own standards that day and are committed to making it right. As a matter of practice, we do not comment on any specific legal matters, pending or otherwise. So that's what they put out this past Thursday. And like I said, what does it really mean if you did the complete opposite of what your statement says? They think these statements are really helping them. These statements, in my opinion, are really incriminating you even more and making you look even more guilty. So you wrote a statement based on what did not happen at your restaurant that day. You wrote a statement that is contrary to what these men experienced that day. This is not helpful at all. And you only fired one person involved. They really all should be fired. And that's my opinion. Y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Now, I also heard that this regional manager was married to the Karen that refused to serve these two men. Peace, family.